Book 5. From the Goddess to the Storm. Then Dawn rose up from bed with Lord Tithonus to bring the light to deathless gods and mortals. The gods sat down for counsel with the great Thunderlord Zeus. Athena was concerned about Odysseus's many troubles, trapped by the nymph Calypso in her house. "Father, and all immortal gods," she said, "no longer let a sceptered king be kind or gentle or pay heed to right and wrong. Let every king be cruel, his acts unjust. Odysseus ruled gently like a father, but no one even thinks about him now. The wretched man is stranded on an island. Calypso forces him to stay with her. He cannot make his way back to his country. He has no ships, no oars, and no companions to help him sail across the wide-backed sea. His son has gone for news of his lost father in sandy Pylos and in splendid Sparta. They plot to kill the boy when he returns." Smiling at her, Lord Zeus, who heaps the clouds, replied, "Oh, daughter, what a thing to say! Did you not plan all this yourself so that Odysseus could come home and take revenge upon those suitors? Now use all your skill. Ensure Telemachus comes safely home, and that the suitors fail and sail away." Then turning to his son, he said, "Dear Hermes, you are my messenger. Go tell the goddess our fixed intention, that Odysseus must go back home. He has endured enough. Without a god or human as his guide, he will drift miserably for 20 days upon a makeshift raft, and then arrive at fertile Scheria. The magical Phaeacians will respect him like a god, and send him in a ship to his dear homeland, with gifts of bronze and heaps of gold and clothing, more than he would have brought with him from Troy if he had come directly, with his share of plunder. It is granted him to see the ones he loves, beneath his own high roof, in his own country." Hermes heard these words. At once he fastened on his feet the sandals of everlasting gold with which he flies on breath of air across the sea and land. He seized the wand he uses to enchant men's eyes to sleep or wake as he desires, and flew. The god flashed bright in all his power. He touched Pieria, then from the sky he plunged into the sea and swooped between the waves, just like a seagull catching fish, wetting its whirring wings in tireless brine. So Hermes scudded through the surging swell. Then finally, he reached the distant island, stepped from the indigo water to the shore, and reached the cavern where the goddess lived. There sat Calypso with her braided curls. Beside the hearth, a mighty fire was burning. The scent of citrus and of brittle pine suffused the island. Inside, she was singing and weaving with a shuttle made of gold. Her voice was beautiful. Around the cave, a luscious forest flourished, alder, poplar, and scented cypress. It was full of wings. Birds nested there, but hunted out at sea. The owls, the hawks, the gulls with gaping beaks. A ripe and luscious vine, hung thick with grapes, was stretched to coil around her cave. 4 springs spurted with sparkling water as they laced with crisscross currents intertwined together. The meadow softly bloomed with celery and violets. He gazed around in wonder and joy, at sights to please even a god. Even the deathless god who once killed Argos stood still, his heart amazed at all he saw. At last, he went inside the cave. Calypso, the splendid goddess, knew the god on sight. The deathless gods all recognize each other, however far away their homes may be. But Hermes did not find Odysseus, since he was sitting by the shore as usual, sobbing in grief and pain. His heart was breaking. In tears, he stared across the fruitless sea. Divine Calypso told her guest to sit upon the gleaming, glittering chair and said, "Dear friend, Lord Hermes of the Golden Wand, why have you come? You do not often visit. What do you have in mind? My heart inclines to help you if I can, if it is fated. For now, come in and let me make you welcome." At that, the goddess led him to a table heaped with ambrosia, and she mixed a drink, red nectar. So mercurial Hermes drank and ate till he was satisfied, and then the diplomat explained why he had come. "You are a goddess, I a god, and yet you ask why I am here. Well, I will tell you. Zeus ordered me to come. I did not want to. Who would desire to cross such an expanse of endless salty sea? No human town is near here where gods get fine sacrifices. Still, none can sway or check the will of Zeus. He says the most unhappy man alive is living here, a warrior from those who fought the town of Priam for 9 years, and in the 10th they sacked it and sailed home. But on the journey back, they wronged Athena. She roused the wind and surging sea against them, and all his brave companions were destroyed, while he himself was blown here by the waves. Zeus orders you to send him on his way at once, since it is not his destiny to die here far away from those he loves. It is his fate to see his family and come back home to his own native land. Calypso shuddered and let fly at him. You cruel, jealous gods! You bear a grudge whenever any goddess takes a man to sleep with as a lover in her bed. Just so the gods who live at ease were angry when rosy-fingered Dawn took up Orion, and from her golden throne chaste Artemis attacked and killed him with her gentle arrows. Demeter, with the cornrows in her hair, indulged her own desire, and she made love with Iasion in triple-furrowed fields, till Zeus found out, hurled flashing flame, and killed him. So now you male gods are upset with me for living with a man I saved. Zeus pinned his ship, and with his flash of lightning smashed it to pieces. All his friends were killed out on the wine-dark sea. This man alone, clutching the keel, was swept by wind and wave, and came here to my home. I cared for him and loved him, and I vowed to set him free from time and death forever. Still, I know no other god can change the will of Zeus. So let him go, if that is Zeus's order, across the barren sea. I will not give an escort for this trip across the water. I have no ships or rowers. But I will share what I know with him and gladly give useful advice so he can safely reach his home. The mediator, Zeus's servant, replied, Then send him now. Avoid the wrath of Zeus. Do not enrage him, or one day his rage will hurt you. With these words, he vanished. Acknowledging the edict sent from Zeus, the goddess went to find Odysseus. She found him on the shore. His eyes were always tearful. He wept sweet life away and longing to go back home, since she no longer pleased him. He had no choice. He spent his nights with her inside her hollow cave, not wanting her, though she still wanted him. By day he sat out on the rocky beach, in tears and grief, staring in heartbreak at the fruitless sea. The goddess stood by him and said, Poor man, stop grieving, please. You need not waste your life. I am quite ready now to send you off. Using your sword of bronze, cut trunks and build a raft, fix decks across and let it take you across the misty sea. I will provide water, red wine, and food to stop you starving, and I will give you clothes and send a wind to blow you safely home. If this is what those sky gods want, they are more powerful than me. They get their way. Odysseus, informed by many years of pain and loss, shuddered and let his words fly out at her. Goddess, you have some other scheme in mind, not my safe passage. You are telling me to cross this vast and terrifying gulf in just a raft, when even stable schooners sped on by winds from Zeus would not succeed. No, goddess, I will not get on a raft, unless you swear to me a mighty oath you are not planning yet more pain for me. At that, divine Calypso smiled at him. She reached out and caressed him with her hand, saying, You scalawag, what you have said shows that you understand how these things work. But by this earth and by the sky above and by the waters of the Styx below, which is the strongest oath for blessed gods, I swear I will not plot more pain for you. I have made plans for you as I would do for my own self if I were in your place. I am not made of iron, no, my heart is kind and decent, and I pity you. And with those words, the goddess quickly turned and led the way. He followed in her footsteps. They reached the cave together, man and goddess. The chair that Hermes had been sitting on was empty now. Odysseus sat there. The goddess gave him human food and drink. She sat and faced godlike Odysseus, while slave girls brought her nectar and ambrosia. They reached to take the good things set before them, and satisfied their hunger and their thirst. The goddess queen began, Odysseus, son of Laertes, blessed by Zeus, your plans are always changing. Do you really want to go back to that home you love so much? Well then, goodbye. But if you understood how glutted you will be with suffering before you reach your home, you would stay here with me and be immortal. Though you might still wish to see that wife you always pined for. And anyway, I know my body is better than hers is. I am taller, too. Mortals can never rival the immortals in beauty. So Odysseus with tact said, Do not be enraged at me, great goddess. You are quite right. I know my modest wife Penelope could never match your beauty. She is a human. You are deathless, ageless. But even so, I want to go back home, and every day I hope that day will come. If some god strikes me on the wine-dark sea, I will endure it. By now I am used to suffering. I have gone through so much at sea and in the war. Let this come too. The sun went down and brought the darkness on. They went inside the hollow cave and took the pleasure of their love, held close together. When vernal dawn first touched the sky with flowers, they rose and dressed. Odysseus put on his cloak and tunic, and Calypso wore her fine long robe of silver. Round her waist she wrapped a golden belt and veiled her head. Then she prepared the journey for the man. She gave an axe that fitted in his grip, its handle made of finest olive wood. Its huge bronze blade was sharp on either side. She also gave a polished adze. She led him out to the island's end, where tall trees grew. Black poplar, alder, fir that touched the sky, good for a nimble boat of seasoned timber. When she had shown him where the tall trees grew, Calypso, queen of goddesses, went home. Odysseus began and made good progress. With his bronze axe he cut down 20 trunks, polished them skillfully, and planed them straight. Calypso brought a gimlet, and he drilled through every plank and fitted them together, fixing it firm with pegs and fastenings. As wide as when a man who knows his trade marks out the curving hull to fit a ship, so wide Odysseus marked out his raft. He notched the side decks to the close-set frame, and fixed long planks along the ribs to finish. He set a mast inside, and joined to it a yardarm and a rudder to steer straight. He heaped the boat with brush, and caulked the sides with wickerwork to keep the water out. Calypso brought him fabric for a sail, and he constructed that with equal skill. He fastened up the braces, clews, and halyards, and using levers, launched her on the sea. The work had taken 4 days. On the 5th, Calypso let him go. She washed and dressed him in clothes that smelled of incense. On the raft, she put a flask of wine, a bigger flask of water, and a large supply of food. She sent him off with gentle, lukewarm breezes. Gladly, Odysseus spread out his sails to catch the wind. With skill, he steered the rudder.